Alright, hello everybody. hello, welcome. Excuse me. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing alright. Excuse me, Phil here. Phil here. Live on the stream, getting started with pre-stream, drinking my V8 drink and exploding as usual. Welcome. More Tekken 7 today, folks. So I hope you're here for that, and I hope you're looking forward to it. If you're not, if you haven't been enjoying the Tekken 7, you're like, when the hell is Phil going to be doing something different? Tomorrow, if it does release, 'cause it's supposed to release tomorrow, this game called Perception, I'll be playing that tomorrow. I hope it actually does release, because I can't seem to find a solid release date anywhere for it. But people assured me that it's coming out tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, well, if I don't see a solid release date, it's not pre-orderable. I'm not so sure. Just saying. But, we'll see. Alright, but for today, all of today, will be Tekken 7. Alright, so. How will Tekken 7 happen today? Well, first of all, today's first stream, which is starting right now, obviously, will be more multiplayer. Yes, I know. I'll once again be attempting to play multiplayer. I don't know how it's going to go. Sadly, I can't do half the multiplayer stuff that I did in Injustice. If you remember, when I played Injustice, I was able to create a lobby and people were able to join and fight me. I can't even do that in Tekken 7 because my lobby doesn't show up. I've tried it twice, and both times that I tried to create a lobby to take on all comers, no one could see my lobby. So that is pretty stupid. And I don't know what else to do besides just try to do random player matches and tournament matches. So I guess that's what I'm going to try to do today. I am going to attempt to do more Paul Phoenix today, because I have not really used him online at all. Yesterday and the day before, I played a ton of King. So today I want to do some more Paul Phoenix, but I may play a little bit more King as well. I actually customized my King last night. I bought a custom outfit and put on some accessories and custom colored him in anticipation of more gameplay. So we'll see how it goes today, folks. Then later tonight, I am streaming again around 7 p.m., 7:30 Pacific time, okay? And that is going to be me checking out new characters. At least 1 to 2 new characters. What I'll do is I'll go into practice mode and mess around with them. And then I'll probably do their arcade ladders. And then if there is time, if I really want to, maybe I'll try to play a couple matches online with them. But we'll see. So that's today. The agenda is multiplayer right now in the earlier stream, followed by, hopefully, some new characters later tonight, okay? Tomorrow, if we get the chance to play it, Perception. If not, I guess it'll be more Tekken. Like I said, I really didn't have too much on the agenda for this week besides Tekken and Perception. Now, I actually was told yesterday, which I had no idea, okay? Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 2 apparently releases tomorrow. I did not know this. So I did not appropriately build it into my schedule for this week. So that being said, what I'm thinking is I will probably play it later in the week. I'm thinking that maybe I will do some Guardians of the Galaxy maybe come Friday, because Friday is a double stream day. So maybe what I'll do is the first half of the day Tekken, and the second half do this Guardians of the Galaxy episode. Because I'll be honest, I'm not super excited for it. I mean, I did like the first episode of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it wasn't like, oh my god, it's so amazing, I have to play it right away, I'm dropping everything for it. Nothing like that. It was just okay, you know. So I am going to be doing that, but probably later in the week. Alright? Okay, so let's talk a little bit, folks. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the schedule, okay? As you guys and gals know, I announced this last week. I pretty much am retooling everything because I broke up with Leanna. Well, I should say we broke up, is what I should say. It was a mutual thing. And so now my schedule's different, And I do have more free time, but at the same time, I haven't really solidified how I want to do stuff yet. And I am finding it is getting tougher for me because my nighttime schedule is all screwed up now. It's tougher for me to get stuff going in the mornings. Now, originally, I was streaming noon or later, and I was streaming 3-hour gameplay streams. Then I extended those to 4 hours so that I could have a day off a week. But it's looking like I'm not going to need a whole day off every week, okay? I'm not going to need a whole entire day off to myself every single week. Maybe every other week, or special occasions, but I'm not going to need that all the time. So, that being said, now I'm doing the longer streams and I like them, but I am finding that doing it every single day and not having any time away from it is basically tiring me out. So what I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to not necessarily change anything yet, but right now the way that I list the schedule I don't think is honest, because let's be honest here. I say, oh, I'm starting the stream at 11 a.m., and it never starts at 11 a.m. For whatever reason, whether I get wrapped up in something, or I'm not feeling well, or things just don't go right because of technical difficulties, the stream never starts at 11, ever, okay? So I think moving forward, I need to change the schedule because it's just not fair to say that it starts at 11 when it doesn't. All right. So I think I'm going to change it to say around 11:30. That's more fair because typically my pre-stream starts by 11:30. And that way any setup or anything that has to take place before then, it's not like promising you that I'm going to be there and then I'm not there. All right. So I think that makes more sense. Now, as I said, doing this as early as I am every day is kind of throwing me out. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule because my sleep schedule was all screwed up. What had happened was, for the past 4 to 5 months, this is no exaggeration, it was basically all of 2017, Leanna started working super early in the morning, like 6 in the morning, okay? So what would happen is, she would need to go to sleep early so that she could get up early to go to work. And because of that, I wouldn't even, a lot of times when she was going to sleep, I wasn't even done with work. I would be working till 10, like I usually do. Usually I work till 9 or 10 o'clock because I'm uploading videos or whatever. And then, of course, I have to babysit the videos, add them to playlists, tweet about it, and all that stuff. So a lot of times I wouldn't even be done with work, okay, until midnight or later. Leanna would already be asleep. She had to go to sleep because she had to go up to go to work in the morning. And if you guys noticed earlier this year, one of the things that I posted on Instagram, which has become one of the kind of the running memes of the year, is I had this sleep strap for my head to stop me from snoring. Because what would happen is, I would come up and around, let's say I don't know, 2 in the morning. I'd be tired and I'd go to sleep, and I would go to sleep and I'd wake her up because I would start snoring, and it would wake her up, and then she wouldn't get enough sleep to go to work. So what I started to do was adjust my sleep schedule to stay up a little later, which I know is not healthy, but I did this for her. Stay up later so that she could get more sleep before I went to bed, okay? So I would be staying up real late at night in order for her to get extra sleep so she could go to work. Now, it wasn't every day, and that was the good news. She didn't do that every single day, so some days it was normal, but it basically screwed up my sleeping completely, alright? Now I'm completely screwed up, and I can't get to sleep at a normal hour. I can't. Some nights I'm tired, and I get to sleep quick, and other nights I just don't feel tired at all, and I'm trying to get better to a more consistent sleep schedule, okay? But it's screwing me up because not only was I staying up later, but then I was working earlier, so I was getting, like, not enough sleep at all every day, and it was really kind of throwing my body for a loop. So, what I'm going to be trying to do here is basically sleep earlier, and hopefully I can continue to do the earlier streams. But worst case scenario, alright, if I'm not going to be able to get my sleep schedule in line here, at least anytime in the short term, what I'm thinking of doing is going back to the hour later streams just for the short term. And then once I could get my sleeping back in line, then I could go back to the earlier streams. But I basically need to make a change because I'm not getting enough sleep. I know I'm not. Like last night, I wasn't even tired till 4 a.m. So I went to sleep at 4 and I woke up at 10. And I woke up and I felt so groggy, and I'm like, oh god, you know, and I want to work. I want to come play Tekken. I'm dying. I actually do want to play Tekken, but you know, how well can I play the game when I'm not on enough sleep and I feel groggy and everything? And you can hear it in my sinuses and everything. That I'm all screwed up from my allergies, and you know, it's hard to recover. It's hard to recover from that when you're not getting enough sleep. You know. And you also say, well, gee, why do I drink these V8 energy drinks in the morning? That's why. This is why I do it, because I feel so groggy half the time, especially these past few months, like I said, because I did this change, you know, to help out Leanna, and it didn't really affect, you know, it didn't really help me that much. Let's face it. It just screwed up everything with me. So, yeah. I need to basically do something. So we'll see what happens, but what I'm going to do for the short term, I'm changing the schedules. Not that anything's going to change, but I'm going to say I'm not starting the stream till 11:30. So at least that way, you know, the fact that I'm not really even talking till 11:30 on the stream, there's no misconception that I'm late or whatever, because I do feel right now, I feel like I'm late every day, and it's not right, you know? It's not right. It's just not right. To be saying I'm going to do one thing and then I don't do it. So we'll see what happens. And then, like I said, if in the long term here, in the next week or two, if I can't get stuff going to a point where it's consistent and I'm going to sleep earlier and all that, then what I'll do is I'll start doing the later streams again. The stream that's going to be, instead of saying, oh, I'm starting at 11, well, we'll get up and running around 12. You know, and actual gameplay will start between 12:31, and then we'll get around 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay in every day. All right. So there you go. That's kind of what I'm gonna do. All right. We'll see moving forward. I hope that things work out. I hope that I can get myself back in line to a normal, consistent schedule. It's certainly not an easy thing, especially when you're by yourself, because that's the thing. It's all about consistency and repetition and having a schedule. And I know that for a fact because I did it by myself, you know, doing YouTube and everything. I lived by myself from 2009 to 2014 before I moved across the country. And it's all about having that set schedule and getting yourself into a routine so that it becomes commonplace, so your body's ready to do this stuff every single day. That's how you get into it, even when you're living alone. If you're in a routine, it's easy to do. The problem is I'm not in any kind of a routine. I'm all thrown apart right now because everything's been screwed up for months. Alright. So that's the deal. More information coming up when available. Okay. I'll let everyone know how it goes, if I can get back to a normal sleep schedule or what. And I'll let you know if there'll be any changes to the streaming schedule anytime soon. Okay, so that's that. If you did not pay attention yesterday, a lot of information released yesterday in the weekend preview in particular. I talk about Patreon. I announced that we did hit the funding goal for May, which was great. I announced that I messaged all the patrons last night. And also I talked about E3, my E3 schedule, because later this week, folks, E3 begins. You may not even realize that. Okay? You may not realize that. But E3 is this weekend. Yeah, and it's even earlier than usual this year. It's actually starting on Saturday instead of Sunday, which is even crazy. Now, I talked about how I'm going to cover that in the weekend preview. If you can't tell, a ton of information in the weekend preview last night. Please check it out over on the King of Hate Vlogs. A very important video to explain what to expect. In particular, this week, I need a little bit of time off because of personal stuff. You know, returning the freaking leased car and doing a bunch of other shit, errands that need to get done. And, yeah. So, there you have it, folks. Please watch the weekend preview. It was a very important video this week. Outside of all that, I don't really have much else to talk about. There's not much else going on. It's just a week of Tekken, Perception. Later this week, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, and then E3 coverage on the weekend. So, it's going to be a full week. It's going to be a fun week, but it's also going to be a week where things aren't going to be as normal. It's going to have some weird stuff in there, so that's why you should definitely check out the week in preview if you haven't, okay? All right. Really quick, everybody. Really quick. Let's do a couple quick plugs and then we'll begin. All right. So first off, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here on the stream. I hope you enjoyed today's Tekken 7 stream. Multiplayer again. Hopefully it goes well. There are many ways that you can support my efforts to continue to daily live stream as I do, and also do daily videos on YouTube. Alright, the first way is Patreon, which I've already mentioned. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Had some good discussion this morning in the stream chat about what the goal event should be for June. And it looks like I'm leaning towards playing Sonic Adventure 2. This is a game that I never actually played. I only played it for a couple hours, because this was back in the era of Dreamcast, right? And I had a friend who had a habit of burning Dreamcast games, and he basically burned a ton of them for me and said, here, check these out. And I tried a few of them, and one of them that I tried was Sonic Adventure 2, but it didn't work. It played for 3 hours, and then the whole game crapped out and glitched out. And I think it was because it was a buggy, ripped version of it. So I actually never played Sonic Adventure 2. And people are saying that, in the realm of the 3D Sonic games, there are 3 games that they would want to see me play. The first was Sonic 06, which I did last year. Okay. The second was Sonic Adventure 2. Everyone's like, that's the second best or second most game people would want to see me play. And then the third would be the Shadow the Hedgehog, which apparently is another buggy kind of mess like Sonic 06. So I think that should be the goal for this month, is if we hit the funding goal for June, I will do a full playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2. Similar to last year's event, where if I did, hit the goal that month, I was going to do Sonic 06. Okay? I think that makes sense. But maybe what I should do is put it to a poll. Because what I'm thinking is, what I can do is say, the goal this month is, if we hit the goal, you will vote on either, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, or Shadow the Hedgehog. And then, whatever wins the polling ends up being the playthrough. That's kind of what I'm thinking, okay? What does everyone think? Because that's what I'm thinking, is it'll give me the chance to play a game I never played before, do an original event that people should like, Shout out to Javon, who just resubscribed. And he says he's been here since I started streaming again, but it only says he's a 2-month sub. It could certainly be that it lapsed. That's what happens if you don't have it on auto renew or whatever. Then it could lapse and reset. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's what the Patreon goal is going to be for this month. I need to set it up and give you more of an, of concrete guidelines and everything. I'll make a title card for it or whatever. Obviously I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet, but I will work on that for you, okay? But I think that's what the goal is going to be for this month. But anyway, if you pledge to my Patreon, you earn personal perks as well as contribute to the monthly goal. Thank you to everyone who pledged in May. You guys are awesome. And, yes, ladies and gentlemen, please consider pledging if you haven't. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. So that's number 1. That's one of the ways you can support me. Okay? Number 2. Teespring. My Teespring merch store, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Check it out at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Anything you get from that store, t-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, mugs, all fan design artwork, really awesome logos and designs. And if you do buy something there, I get a pretty good commission that helps me out. So please consider checking it out. I really like the stuff there, and I think you will too. And by the way, if you do get something from the Teespring shop, please feel free to take a picture of yourself with it, whether it's a mug or a shirt or whatever, and send it to me on social media, on Twitter. I'll retweet it so that way, we can share that with everyone and show them how good the stuff is, okay? And then last but not least, folks, as you're watching today's gameplay stream, if you're enjoying it, if you're liking it, whether it's you're reveling in an awesome win or laughing at my rage and salt at a loss, okay? Please consider cheering with bits, subbing to the channel, or tipping, okay? Cheering with bits is pretty cool. It allows you to have this kind of little symbol that shows up in the stream chat to show that you cheered. If you end up being the top cheer for the day, your message will get stickied in the stream chat. We've had a few days here where people do what's called a cheer war, where they try to battle for the top spot. And you'll get an on-screen notification if you cheer 50 bits or more. If you sub to the channel, you will have access to premium emotes, all the emotes that I have here, as a part of the sub program. And I'm certainly sure that you guys will enjoy them. I mean, people have been using them all the time. I'm sure someone now that I'm mentioning this who has a subscription will show you off some of the emotes. But please don't spam, because then you'll get kicked from the chat by accident. But yeah, you get that. But also, if I do happen to run ads during a break, you don't have to see the ads, okay? Now, if you subscribe to the channel, there's a button that you can click that says share. And if you click on share, it will give you a pop-up message notification on the screen as well, okay? And then last but certainly not least, if you tip me $2 or more, you will also get an on-screen notification. Oh, by the way, shout out to Zavon, who just did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I bought bits and cheer on behalf of Oaksfin Mojo, who asked, will you play the new Borderlands when it comes out? I didn't even know there was a new Borderlands. So I guess I'm behind. I had no idea they were making a new Borderlands game. Gee, I guess that Battleborn didn't go too well for them. Yeah, what a joke. The flop that was Battleborn last year. Thank God you guys talked me out of buying that game, because I was going to buy it. But you guys talked me out of it, and boy, was that a good choice. Man, that would have been a terrible flop if I had bought it. Alright, anyway. Yeah, if you tip me, you'll also get an on-screen notification for a $2 tip or more. If you're curious on how to tip, if you go below the stream chat here, there's a little section that says tips. If you click on it, it'll bring you to my tips page, and there you can either tip anonymously or you can actually leave a message, which you'll get like I said, another pop-up notification. Now, if you either cheer, sub, or tip me during the stream, I will give you a shout-out. However, be understanding that if you're going to leave a troll message or whatever, something insulting, I don't have to read it. But I do try to give thank you shout-outs to everyone as I can. Keep in mind, if I'm playing a fighting game like Tekken today, no, I won't be able to immediately give you that immediate gratification shout-out, especially if I'm fighting in the match. I can't do it. But I will, in between matches, be checking and doing thank you shout-outs, okay? So, the cheering, the subbing, and the tipping allows me to continue to do this as an ongoing daily show. Okay, it's the reason why I'm still here. So please consider doing it. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right. I got one question from Manny Peregrine, which is actually a pertinent question, so I'll answer it and then we'll get started. He says, "Are you still doing Loot Crate unboxings?" No, I'm not. Allow me to explain, because I completely in the whole bustle and with everything going on, basically with Leanna moving out and everything, a lot of stuff kind of fell by the wayside that I never got to explaining to you guys, or I got caught up in so much shit that I didn't get to explain. Basically, the Loot Crate stuff slowed down insanely. Like, when I started with the Loot Crate partner program 3 years ago, whenever it was, I was getting 10 or more referral credits a month. So I was doing pretty good. And they liked that, so they started signing me up for other programs and everything over the past year. If you remember, I got the Marvel crate, I got the WWE crate, I was getting all these special loot crates and everything to unbox. Well, I got contacted by Loot Crate like a month or two ago, and they said, FYI, we've been tracking your numbers, and they are way down. Like, you're gotten almost nothing anymore. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I kind of understand why, because I think the market's oversaturated at this point. You sent me so many crates, that I'm doing 2-3 unboxings a month. And, you know, those people who wanted the sub already did. They already subscribed to Loot Crate. A lot of people probably have stayed with it. So you're not going to get those. I only get a referral for Loot Crate when someone starts a new subscription. It's not like I get ongoing referral credit for someone who started a subscription and then kept going. I only get it for that initial sign up. So a lot of people signed up and probably weren't going to cancel and sign up again and cancel and sign up again. You know what I mean? So it basically died out and people weren't really doing the referral credit stuff anymore for Loot Crate. So they basically said what they wanted to do was put it on hold for a few months and then come back later in the year and maybe send me a few more crates and see if I unboxed crates later in the year if it would get more interest again. So that's what's happened right now. Basically, yes, I'm still partnered with Loot Crate, and yes, you can still use my Loot Crate referral link to save some money, and it gives me credit too. But they basically put me on hold and said they're not gonna send me any more crates till later in the year to see if it'll help with the stagnation. All right. So we'll see what happens. I know some of you've been enjoying the Loot Crate unboxings, and all of a sudden they just stop out of nowhere, and you're like, what happened? That's what happened. Okay. So maybe later this year there'll be more. I don't know. I am currently doing unboxings of the 1-up crates, and in fact, I did unbox one this past week, but I've just been so busy, I forgot to upload it. I actually forgot. I have it right here ready to go. So I think what I'm going to do is during the break, once I finish this stream, I'm going to upload that to the King of Hate Vlogs. There you go. Alright, so there's your explanation. Alright, everyone. So that is it. Thank you for being patient. Oh, I got a couple shout-outs to do, actually. Shout-out to JMA, who tipped me $2. And he says, I can help you earn an EVO 2017 award? What? I don't care about EVO. I've pretty much said this a million times, folks. I don't care about EVO. I don't want to go to EVO. I don't want anything to do with EVO. I don't care about it. So please stop making threads and trying to do crowdfunding to go to EVO and do things on my behalf. I don't care. And honestly, the fact that someone would be trying to do this without my permission is messed up regardless. This is something that should have been run by me first. And I don't support it. So cut it out. There, I've said it publicly now. Stop it. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that without any permission. That's messed up, man. Alright, shout out to Baron Bong Hit 69, who said, does Loot Crate give out Gamer Fuel? I don't think Loot Crate has anything to do with Gamer Fuel. I think Gamer Fuel actually has their own program or something, but I stopped using Gamer Fuel years ago. I was using it for a while, and then I stopped, so. And shout out to Zavon, who did a 200-bit cheer, and he says, do the Axe Body Detailer 2.0 review live on stream for a Patreon reward. Oh boy. Would people be able to contain themselves if I did that? I don't know, man. Alright, so that is it, folks, for the pre-stream. I know it was a long one again. I apologize. I keep getting distracted and pulled in different directions. So, alright, everybody. Thank you. And let us begin with today's stream, multiplayer stream of Tekken 7, ladies and gents. Okay, sound good? Alright, sounds good. Let's get started.